There are afternoons. As the late day sun fell softly on the eaves, I'm sitting alone in the middle of a small yard, the sound of birds flying towards the nest. Hear my heart go down. The sounds of everyday life are silent and deep, as well as a sincere statement. It can heal a broken heart. Have you ever sat quietly, just to think back on a word you once let go? One sentence, just one sentence, made that AI smile all day. Maybe another word that AI's been tossing and turning all night without sleep. The ancients have a saying, words don't cost money to buy. Choose words to please each other. He heard through simple thought, but it's a great lesson for a lifetime. I once met a man, tortuous figure with hunched back. His eyes were always looking at the ground as if carrying his whole life. When asked, he just laughed quietly. Then I knew there was a day in my life. You lost all your house, wife and child honor just for a word in anger. One sentence makes a loved one turn his back, to make people's hearts closed. The words that spoke raw are like arrows that have left the bow. You can't undo it, you can only suffer the consequences. Have you ever? I said something I didn't want to hear again. Sometimes I hurt someone else, more than wanting to lose in an argument. My mind asked me, and I can't lie to myself, because I know I've said things I shouldn't have said. And the wounds are not on the flesh. It's deep in people's hearts. I remember a mother taking her son to the market. Naughty baby drops vegetable basket. The mother didn't hit. Just bend down and pick up every single drop of vegetables. Then softly say, "Next time be more careful, I love you." But others will look at you and think you're unwise. The baby looked at her with red eyes. There was no yelling, but his heart warmed. It's a saving word. Save the immature personality is forming in a child. Words are a kind of energy. It can lift a soul that's fallen into darkness. It could also be a knife, stabbing into the hearts of others without bleeding. Buddha taught, work is one of the most important jobs, the life of a loved one. And in 3 professions, the mouth is the easiest, because the body can hold back. The idea can be hidden, but the mouth is like a sharp knife. Just a little bit of not holding is disastrous. We've spent 5 years learning to read and write, but it can take a lifetime to learn how to say it right. In the midst of a world full of controversy, Bonchon, someone who knows how to choose words, know how to utter gentle, sincere sentences. It's the one who's practicing. I have the wisdom in every word I say. So from today, learn to speak softly like the autumn wind. Say good words like the morning sun. Speak words as sincerely as a stream in, soothing the troubles in the hearts of others. A word that can save people from the depths. But it can also drive people to extreme suffering. So, before you speak, stop for a moment to be quiet. Your mouth is healthy and your words are bright. 4 karmic roots sow the middle. Late at night. Have you ever wondered, where did the words I used to say go? There are words that AI's heart is lifted up as light as the clouds. There are also words that break the AI's mind, silently like thunder in the middle of the night. Sometimes myself, sighing in the midst of confusion, just because a word shouldn't be said in the garden of human life. The word is the seed. So good words reap blessings, so poisonous words, reaping suffering. There was a middle-aged woman, quiet living in a small town. One day when the girl came to visit, she hugged me and shed tears. The surprised man asked, "I remember the words of the old days. I scolded you a very heavy sentence. I thought you forgot, but Mom didn't." The silent child she'd remembered and hurt. But you've learned to let go. I haven't forgotten a day. A word that seemed fleeting, but once you get into that AI heart, It becomes karma for both the speaker and the listener. Why can words be so heavy? Because it carries the idea, my emotions and my mood. The word is not sharp, but its weight can't be measured. His mouth is like a sharp sword, 1,000 cuts. I used to ask my heart, how many times have I said something just to satisfy myself, without thinking about the consequences? How many times have I used cold words, just to win an argument, and leave a sad person turned away? How the career is formed? According to the Buddha's teaching, the profession is not natural. It's formed through a chain, from a thought to an attitude to life and then into words, from repeated words to habits. Then it's a personality and then it's a destiny. The word once sown, it's no different than a fire on dry straw. What I said cannot be recovered. Created is not easy to delete. I was sitting with an old man. I used to be hot-headed and curse my wife and children. It's time to grow old alone. No way I care. I just understood. It was the words that drove me into solitude. I look at you, eyes full of regret, but also full of awakening. Every day my mouth is closed. And today he is reaping the fruit of loneliness. Buddha taught that there are 4 types of evil words. Lying hurts trust. Evil words make people suffer. Say divided. To make people far apart, say that they distort the truth. Every word is a person. I thought it was accidental, but it works in the minds of others. And in myself. Some people lose their careers for a thoughtless sentence. Some people lose their friendship because of a harsh word. Some people sow karma and wonder, why my life is rigged, but the wise are afraid and the bewitched are afraid. Every seed needs time to grow. The mouth too. Maybe bad words from yesterday to next month. The next year it came to fruition, and then we wonder why we're suffering like this. But actually, that's what we used to sow. My mouth is like the wind, but the result is like a 1,000-pound mountain. So from today we practice saying cute words. Practice listening before speaking. Practice uttering what can comfort healing. For in this short life, the greatest thing we can do for each other, it's not wealth, it's not a moral teaching, it's a kind word, just in time to see that life is still warm. An evil word can burn a blessing. As the sunset tilts down, the tree's shadow fell long on the empty porch. Suddenly I saw everything awake. There's only one thing that keeps echoing. Those are the words that I used to say. Words are not wind. Words carry karma. Charity is like cool water. Evil words are like fire. It burned down the garden that I planted. There are people who do good all their lives to give alms. But then a poisonous word, one-time cursing a karma, that dissipates the merit accumulated over the years. The story of the fire. There's a Buddhist. Practice diligently. Day of chanting good works. To help the poor to make offerings to the Buddha. The villagers are also appreciated until one day she was misunderstood. A neighbor believes false truth. In anger she stood in the middle of the market. He insulted the Kia with harsh words. Her face was flushed with anger. That day, the people who loved him were silent. Those who do not love say that. What is she doing with a poisonous mouth? She went home to sit in front of the Buddha table, quietly shed tears. You did the wrong thing. Just an evil word, but for many years the German relic may have turned to dust. Why do I let my mouth burn? Out just a minute unrestrained. It can destroy everything. I used to think that words were just instant expressions. But then I realized, words are the inner mirror. The mouth is evil because the mind is evil. Fire because it has kept the fire for a long time. The fire from the mouth is not burning. The forest is also burning. Buddha used to teach, you need to keep your body and mind clean. in which speech is the most easily violated, but also the most dangerous. Because of a wrong action, we can fix it. It's a bad thought if it doesn't work. It can still stop, but an evil word, once it's out, it's like the arrow has left the bow. Can't be retracted. I once knew an old man who was young. He swears loudly to his wife. When he gets old, he wants to daily recitation of the Buddha, cooking vegetarian rice chanting uncle. But every time you open your mouth, it's grumbling. It's judgment. One time my little grandson asked me, "What kind of grandpa do you think he is?" Keep your eyes closed to fix it. But he still hasn't fixed his mouth. And he recognized the evil word. It's not just hurting people. It also makes my heart uneasy. Evil words consume blessings. Because why do good works is to accumulate merit. But merit can be destroyed. If words carry the anger of one word envy, a word filled with anger by a fire that comes out of its mouth and consumes the forest. That is why the Buddha teaches the wise. Say something every day. Be careful, like a man carrying 8 waters on a bumpy road. If a good deed can save a life, it's an evil word. It can also kill a lifetime of trust. I vow to learn to speak words of compassion, not to let others praise you. That every day, your mind is not burned by the hot fire of his own mouth. Evil words are like fire in the heart. Blessed is a life of ashes. A word as sweet as a lotus bloom, damage from land permeating space. In the midst of many troubles, keep your mouth clean. Let every word sound like a flower, touching people's lives and soften the silent wounds. In that AI heart, market fire red coconut of words. The wind blowing through my porch this afternoon was very light. The leaves on the tree also fluttered. It's like whispering something to each other. I sat quietly listening. In that silence there was another sound, echoing through my mind. Sound phi. The chatter behind my back, guess no beginning, no end. The words that come out for fun, but leave wounds that never heal. The sound was as small as the wind, but it can collapse a lifetime. There was a gentle woman who lived very simply. You never talked to anyone. No fight with life. But then one day there was a rumor that she was faking, that you're not as good as you look. No one knows where to start, but it kept going like smoke and covered her. People around you look at you with different eyes. Some people dodge, some people whisper. She didn't explain, just silence. But in her heart it hurts. For the rest of her life she lived quietly without blame. Only once did she say, "If only people understood, prophecy is like poison. Whoever sowed it drank first." Why do people like to listen to their stories? Because it satisfies what I'm curious about, but it makes people's minds more cloudy. Because I know it's a bad thing and I want to talk about it. Still want to hear, because I forgot that. Every word about someone else. It's a mirror that reflects your own inner self. People who say they are unloved. The mouth shows that the heart has not enlightened itself. What is hypertrophy phi? Is to say things that are not. Add to that the uncertainty. Talk about things that have nothing to do with you. The Buddha called it the evil language. Words are not true, no words for anyone. Danger in place. The speaker forgets, but the listener remembers. Words I thought were harmless. You can make others suffer for a lifetime. A rumor like an invisible arrow. No blood but pain to the heart. It's the poison of language. Silently destroying trust, love, and serenity in every human being. I've seen a family almost break up. Just a word from an outsider. It's no big deal. It's just that the wife was late a few times after work. An acquaintance came by and told her husband, "I see your wife going somewhere?" Probably not simple. The husband trusts his wife, but it's like a drop of water falling into a full glass. You start to doubt and blame and cool off. The wife couldn't understand, crying all night, until the truth comes out. If you take care of your sick mother, the damage is too great. It's not the truth. The consequences are heartbreaking. A mirror is a mirror that mirrors itself. In a Dharma talk, someone asked, "I'm afraid of being talked about behind my back." Do not be sad because you laugh. If there is nothing bad in your mind, bad words have no place to stand. It's like a fallen leaf that can't get the soil dirty. I suddenly understood that. The important thing is not to stop people from talking. It's about keeping your mind unmoved by their words. In this world, the words never end. But if everyone knows how to stop before they speak, learn to listen with compassion, love people as you love yourself, then maybe the world will have fewer silent wounds. Your mouth is a flower or a thorn. Is the cool wind or fireland a light weight? Goddess grace is given to us according to life. Please live like a cool stream. It flows through people without chiseling. It doesn't hurt. Every word I say is a lotus planted in this life. A little more peace. 6 types of blessing words. The more I talk, the more I wake up in the morning. There's still fog on the roof. The wind whispered through the leaves, and my heart suddenly calmed down. I remember a word someone said yesterday, a seemingly harmless word. It was a joke for fun, a direct statement that is too true to plant a seed of blessing in his own life. The ancients taught calamity from the mouth that rob blessed by the mouth. Think carefully. Words don't just carry power. Hurt others? It also destroys your own blessings. The story of a man who lost his blessing because of his words. I once knew someone who did a lot of good. Help the temple relief. Donate rice every month. You know, I love you, but you have a habit. Or slander others behind their backs. When somebody does something bad, he said, "What is a yard like that?" What to do for someone who posts pictures? People just laugh, but their hearts are heavy. One day a teacher came to play. Have tea with him and talk quietly? You help many people, but often say words that take away my blessings. He made 10 parts of his mouth and he lost 7. He startled. And from that day on, I began to speak more quietly, slower than compassion. Why do words wear away the blessings? Because the mouth is where the mind is. Every word is a seed. If a good word is a blessing, if evil words are sowing evil, that's say forever. There will be 6 heavy karma, and the suffering will come soon. 6 types of words that make a blessing disappear. Criticism of others even though the key are right or wrong. A bad word can easily become a sharp knife. It is true that the lack of compassion is still a 7-fold karma. 2 lies, 1 lie at a time. Is the root for the breakdown of trust? Losing faith is immoral. Without morality, there is no blessing. 3 proud words. I can do it, I'm good. I often talk, but the mind is arrogant. The more people show off, the more blessings fall like autumn leaves. 4 words, according to Weaving, said for fun, but lack of sincerity to say too much. Not telling the truth for fun. To joke also makes karma. 4 light but not true words are also disturbing morality. 5 divisive words sowing doubt. I heard Kier say bad things about you. I don't think she meant it. The words that sow the cockroach are the knife that cuts the friendship. It's also our own chain of karma. 6. It's a cruel, angry rebuke for a good reason. But scold people with heavy words. He's also burning his blessings. A bad word, 15 lost blessing. A word for a happy life. I was listening to an 80-year-old woman tell a story. When I was young, I spoke indiscriminately. When I was angry, I'd blame my husband. It also hurts to hear. Now old body, sick mind, sad. I think maybe today's suffering is caused by the old mouth. I look at him with no blame but pity. There are lessons in life that no book teaches. Only time and pain can teach. How not to fall into 6 types of bad words. Buddha taught 4 things in the right language. Speak the truth, speak the harmony. Say the right words at the right time. Hold your mouth like lotus incense in the palm of your hand. Use words like flowers to give to the world. Silence at the right time is a kind of wisdom. Speaking at the right time is a kind of compassion. We say hundreds of things every day. But how many sentences are there? Bring joy to others and blessings to yourself. If you can't say a good word, please. Be silent like a lotus that smells in silence. And still cool the entire space. Keep your mouth clean. Keep the word of blessing those who speak less mind, more light. People who speak lightly. Choose your words as you choose your shirt. Choose for comfort. And give yourself peace. Speak less and listen more than cut to keep the blessing. As we sit quietly in the middle of a windless afternoon without words, just hearing the leaves falling, the birds calling out to each other, I suddenly realized the silence. There's a language deeper than 1,000 words. This life. People who talk a lot but understand a little. Those who speak, but those who listen are rare. And then we lose our blessings not because we're wrong, but for talking too much. I used to visit a temple. Small in the countryside, there's an old monk there. I sit in front of the temple every day. His mouth said nothing, just smiled. The people in the village are very respectful. Some people wonder, "You don't teach anything? You don't teach anything?" I once dared to ask him. He looked at me with quiet eyes and said, "You used to talk a lot, but later I realized, the more you talk, the less you talk. Not because I don't know, but because I do. So there's no need to say much more." Why do we talk so much? Because we want to be recognized, we want others to understand us. But sometimes we talk too much, to the point of not listening to an I anymore. People who talk a lot make mistakes. People who say little can hold their heart. Too, Buddha taught that nothing needs to be preserved more than words. It is easy to say Ra, but it is the practice to keep it. Listening is not just about hearing. To listen is to understand to understand. Those who listen will not jump to conclusions, not in a hurry to judge, not in a hurry to hurt. I once met a gentle and quiet friend. In meetings, she does not chun words, do not argue. But when she speaks, the I is silent. Because that word is always there, always compassionate and at the right time. She told me a sentence that I still remember. I choose to listen more because I know there are words I set out and can't get it back. My grandmother used to talk. She never enters into adult stories. But when that AI is sad, just sit with her. To hear you tell an old story is to be comforted. If you talk little, people are easy to approach. If you listen a lot, your heart is easy to understand. I grew up in words, so full of love. And I understand that timely silence is a form of compassion. Let's say at least how to keep the blessings. Because it's less easy for people to keep their minds safe. Because people who listen often avoid words. Because he is careful with his words. They will not harm themselves and others. Speak a little cool mouth like the early wind. There is so much silence like clear water. The door of blessing is the line. The door is open, so many blessings follow the wind in a world full of noise and voices. People who know silence, I know how to listen, how to choose the words I sow. He's the one who's on the road. Take care of every precious drop of your life. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mind shut. Keep your mind and be blessed to stay. Blessed to stay in natural life. From today, please speak less to hear more. Not just listening to others, but also hear my own heart. The word is that karma is not just sown in the present. Follow me to the next life. This afternoon, while sitting under the shadow of an old tree in the temple courtyard, I heard the wind chimes VA into each other. Every light beat throughout. I think a bell just rang. The sound echoes in space. It's like a word that comes out, but the sound can follow me for a lifetime. Even many lives later, sometimes a word seems forgotten. But karma does not forget. It records as a seed, silently sowing into the land of consciousness. And then, by the grace of God, it will bloom. An old monk once said, "There was a previous life. I used to be a successful trader, but because of the woman's words, she lied to her customers. So this life, even if we practice peaceful body and mind, I still have a disease in my throat. I can't preach for long." The story sounds light, but it makes me shiver. It turns out a wrong word. It doesn't just hurt the present, it also carries a deep imprint. Become a karma to follow the stream of reincarnation. Sometimes we say a word and think, "Just kidding, there's no reason." Sometimes we joke about the pain of others and pass by without regret. But when it comes, I ask, "God, I suffer so much and I don't remember." 9 words that year I planted a seed of karma. Buddha taught, karma is one of the most powerful because it's easy to start and it's hard to remove. Words are created by mouth, but planted in people's minds. Karma is the act of killing, stealing, doing evil. But forget that. Words are actions, actions are actions with sound. Like a lie that sows unbelief karma. A harsh word sowing hatred karma. A word according to the weaving sowing karma. A divisive word that sows karmic harm. And it's all imprinted on the stream of consciousness like a seed. It's not just waiting for the weather, waiting for the right soil to germinate. I remember having a sister in a Buddhist group, just a gentle person who diligently recites the Buddhas. But there's one thing I often play, or telling other people's stories in the form of jokes. I once accidentally told an unclear story. Make others deeply misunderstood. Lost family job, 6 chisel. When the truth comes out, I cry. You said I was just saying for fun. I didn't expect such heavy work. And from there, she began to practice recitation in silence. Rick talks a lot. Because, no words are harmless without enough awareness. The words are gone, but the karma remains. Words are wind, but karma is dust. The wind flies away, but the dust lingers in my heart. The words I let go cannot be taken back. Words can float into the air, but the imprint, it's always in the listener and in yourself. There are things in my life that I don't remember creating, but karma remembers me if words are karma. Then, from today, I speak as one who sows the seed of blessing. Speak as a responsible person with many later lives of his own. A word is a seed. A sentence is a step on a karmic journey. What do you sow? And if we know how to repent, we know how to fix ourselves. Be awake in every word. No matter how heavy the karma is, the new blessing will transform it day by day. As the light slowly shines through the thick fog, say a little from today. Say mindfulness. Good words are like sowing lotus in a blessed field. Let this life and the next be peaceful. People talk badly about others, are shortening their own happiness amidst the noise of life. Sometimes I want to find a quiet place. Only my heart is left. No, I know, talking about AI. No one judges anyone, but that's rarely the case in real life. We live in the midst of 1,000 words of praise. It's mostly the words behind other people's backs. But Buddha taught that speaking ill of people is the fastest way to get your blessings out. Once upon a time in a village, there was a woman who was known to gossip. I go to the market early every morning, not to buy things, but to update information. What is wrong with people who are happy and sad? You all know and tell me about it. One day someone reminded me, "You're not afraid of guilt." You laugh out loud. "I didn't do anything," you said. But As the years went by, something bad happened to me. Trade 7 failed. My husband is ill for unknown reasons. And once she went to see a monk at a nearby temple. The monk didn't ask how much, just said one sentence. He who sows the wind with words reaps the storm in his heart. The blade is sharper than the knife, and there is no blood, but make the bliss wear out. Why do you talk badly about others? Because I think I'm doing nothing. But have you ever wondered? What do I put in my heart every time I speak? A bad word is an arrow aimed at another person, but come back, is piercing through his own blessing. A deep understanding of bad speech. It's a very heavy word in the Buddhist scriptures. The industry is divided into 4 major categories. The language of lies. It's really divisive. It's mean. It's mean. Barbarous language, speak frivolous words. Speaking badly of others, you can mix a little. But if you say to smear, to lower, to gloat, is no different than burning your merit. Like burning a precious paper in the wind. Why? Because when I say bad heart is defiling my mouth, is sowing poison, you are hurting people. There's an old man who lives near my house who says little and recites the Buddha. She used to tell her children, listen to what anyone says, but don't add words. Don't comment. For every bad word was once I cut a thread of blessing. I asked her, why did she believe it so strongly? She just laughed. Because she lost everything. Just because of the mouth or talk people. A lifetime of unresolved karma is enough. We have to suffer the consequences of many lives. Do so to break the bad habit of Buddha teaching. The wise man who speaks the language does not make mistakes. Practice. I wonder if saying this will hurt people. Let's stop complaining. If it has nothing to do with you, let it stay. Instead of speaking badly, say good words. A timely compliment can save a life. A disparaging word that can kill the trust that AI has. The mouth is the door of grace. Open in the morning. There are things that we think are small. A sentence behind a careless word. But heaven and earth missed nothing, sowing with his mouth the fruit of life. I want to keep my mind quiet and keep my mouth shut. Bad-hearted people are not clean. The silent man leads the silent ladder. From today, if you can't say good words, please choose silence like an unbloomed lotus. But it's full of incense inside, because people talk badly about others. You can't hurt an eye as much as you can hurt yourself. Every day, every month, every life. Silence is a kind of wisdom that keeps its mouth shut. It's also a kind of practice. I sat quietly on the porch this morning to hear the birds sing, to hear the sun softly shining through the door. 1 words. But my heart is unusually peaceful. Maybe in the silence. I can really hear the deep voice. From inside me, silence is not nothing to say. It's that we chose to withhold what we didn't have to say. I once heard a Zen master teach that silence is not weakness. It's a kind of thick internal force, forehand translucent recluse, just like a treasure keeper. If you open it at the wrong time, the gold will be lost. If you can keep it, it will become more and more full. There was once I witnessed a young teacher who was greatly misunderstood. Many people talk criticism, even slander. But I'm calm. One objection a disciple cannot stand. I asked why you didn't speak up. I just laugh at the fact that it takes time. Sometimes the words just confuse the listener. Silence is to keep the mind happy. Is it because we are afraid that others will not understand us? Or because we can't stand being judged wrong? But it's when you talk too much that you explain too much. We have lost our peace of mind. The Buddha taught to keep your mouth like a lamp in the wind. Slowly hand is off. Silence is a steady kind of wisdom. Not someone who says a lot of things right. He knows when to say it. When to be silent. Silence when others are angry is compassion. Silence when you are angry is wisdom. Silence when it is not necessary to speak is wisdom, or silence not to back down. It's about understanding and solving with a good heart. For a word raw can lose its blessing. A silence at the right time. You can keep a lifetime of blessings. My neighbor's grandmother is the least talkative, but whoever is sad sits next to you. Not to listen to her advice, but to sit still in her very gentle silence. Once someone asked, "Why don't you talk when the neighborhood is arguing?" She only answered slowly, "When people are angry, words are like fire. If we add more, the wind will burn. If we are silent, the fire will also be cold. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your peace in this life." People who know how to keep their mouth shut, it's the one who knows that not everyone can do it. Because keeping your mouth is against the ego that wants to prove. Because keeping your mouth shut means accepting misunderstandings. But still keep the peace. The strong man is the one who conquers with the sword. He is the one who wins with his mouth. We can't control what other people say, but we can keep our mouths shut. From today, if you ever want to react to a word, let's stop for a beat. Remember that silence is not loss. It's about conquering the self in us. A word raw sometimes regrets a lifetime. Once silent, sometimes I can keep the blessings. Among the noisy insects, people who know how to keep their mouth shut, who walks through life with the wisdom of silence and the fragrance of compassion. Keeping your mouth is not cowardly. It's the practice of someone who knows. There are afternoons when the wind blows across the porch, the smell of incense softly, blended with the distant temple bell. I sat still and thought of something very simple. Hold mouth. Is it a weakness not to speak up? People often mistakenly believe that good arguments are strong. Who can say it again is wise? But the deeper we get into religion, the more I realized he can hold his mouth in anger. He is the one with the most power. The story of someone who paid the price with a hot mouth. I remember an old friend. "You're a good man, work diligently, but there's a character that can't see the words. If anyone says anything against you, you must disagree. Better to lose than argue. You said I wasn't wrong. Why shut up?" And I'm proud that I didn't let the AI bully me, but it's because the mouth is straight as a horse's gut. That's where you lose a lot of relationships. To make an enemy of Goddess Grace. And until Lao Dao's career and family were unsettled, you were silent, wondering, if only I had known a little silence. Keeping your mouth is patience. Let others despise you. Keeping your mouth is not fear. It's choosing peace instead of struggle. It's like a glass of boiling water. If you put more oil in the water, it will overflow. But if you wait a moment, it'll cool down and we'll see more clearly. The Buddha taught about the power of the one who keeps his mouth shut. In the mantra taught by the Buddha, people who don't speak evil don't argue. Living with all of that is the real thing. Because words are the mouth of the mind. It's where the ego is, the yard. My see, to keep your mouth shut is to stop the flow of karma. Every time I win, I want to say out in anger that I won myself. I once saw an old man misunderstanding others in the market. The man shouted insults at him. The old man just smiled and said nothing. When he left, I asked, "Why don't you say it again?" He replied, "It makes you feel heavy. People are hot. I just want to burn my blessings." And he walked away, lightweight as not. And I stood there, and in my heart there was something brighter. Keeping your mouth is keeping your mind. To keep the mind is to keep it safe. Keeping your mouth shut, a silent but profound form of practice. It's not that the guy in the cloak can keep his mouth shut. It's not AI. Most people know when to be quiet. The real practice is in this life. When you're slandered, when you're misunderstood, when you're attacked, I can be silent. Observe and keep the mind from arising. People who know the ring are strong. He who keeps his word is wise. He knows that he is on the right path to enlightenment. We live in a world But AI also wants to speak up, want to get the right part, want to prove yourself. But the more you practice, the deeper you go, the less you say, because they understand that no word can overcome the silence of love. There's no better word than an untroubled mind. From today, if you cannot say one thing to hurt others, choose to hold it in your heart like a lotus, unscented without words. Keeping your mouth is not cowardly. It's the power of the one who practices mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. 4. Throw healing words from the mouth of compassion. Create a healthy career for yourself. There are days when we just need to hear a good word, a gentle word of encouragement from that AI. In the midst of confusion, that's enough to move on. Small words, but they have great support. A word that can create good fortune. You can also plant seeds of goodness in the hearts of others. And in my own mind, Buddha taught, a kind word is a kind of giving. It doesn't cost money, but it's incredibly rewarding. A good word can save a life. Once, I went to a Dharma class in a small country. After the lecture, a shy little girl came up to me and said, "The other day I was going to commit suicide, but I heard a sentence in your lecture. I feel understood by that AI. I feel relieved and I live quietly." I can't believe a simple sentence. To be the light that saves a life. From there I learned that every word I say, if you have compassion, it can be a miracle. And the first to receive the blessing, it's me again. How many words do I say every day? How many words are there? Make others feel more comfortable. How many words lighten the burden in your heart? Sometimes we don't have to do anything big. Just say a compliment at the right time every day, motivation in the right place. It is enough to sow the seeds of good karma for yourself. Words of compassion, a kind of good karma, cultivation of virtue in the 4 Buddhist teachings. AI language is one of the 4 methods of living beings. What is love speech is to speak softly from the heart. Say to comfort, not hurt. Speak not to win, but to understand. Not to divide, but to connect. A kind word like a cool wind village on a summer afternoon, like a drop of fresh water in the desert, like a light in the dark. My teacher has a friend who's a bus driver, he said. Every morning, an old woman gets in the car slowly. Many people are upset, but I greet you every day. Hello, Grandma, pick her up. She's always laughing. Thank you for having children. Life is still beautiful. I don't think much. But one day, when your wife is seriously ill with no money, she's the mother of a wealthy businessman. Helped quietly. Just because of a good word I am blessed to return? Pictures say words of compassion. Solve old karma and sow new karma. No one lives in the world without ever saying wrong. But every new day, it's an opportunity to replace bad karma with compassionate words. Hello with a smile and a blessing. Listen to who's suffering. Speak compassion without judgment. When you see someone wrong, instead of being reproached, share your words like sowing seeds. And above all, practice being kind to yourself. Who knows how to love? I will not let my mouth hurt you. You know that. I will use my mouth to do good deeds every day. Everything in this world is lost. Money, status, body. But there's one thing that lasts forever. It's karma we create with our mind and words. From today, if you can choose, please choose compassion. Because every good word is a lotus flower blooming in the heart. Because every AI word is a step closer to the edge. Say a kind word. Blessings follow as shadow follow the figure. Speak cruel words, beat like fire with straw. Let every word be a lotus. It smells where we go. And so light into the darkest places of life. Others. It's also about illuminating your own mind. Words from the mouth. Every Buddha verse is a karmic cleansing. I sat in a familiar little corner this morning. Light your eyes and close your eyes and say the words. The Amitabha Buddha said that the thought does not need to be loud. Just be sincere. Just let go of some delusion. The mind is a little quieter. My career has become somewhat lighter. Maybe in the middle of a troubled life? There's nothing to help people return to peace faster than the Buddha. From a karmic mouth to a mouth of incense. I met a man over 80 years old. He said my mouth was hot. Say things that hurt others? To hurt yourself. But from the day I started reciting the Buddha, I've learned to be friends with my own voice. Now, every morning and late at night, he sat right next to the altar of the Buddha reciting the beads. Every thought. Amitabha Buddha spoke slowly. It is so peaceful and so deep. He said, every recitation is a washing away of old mistakes, is a soothing, words that have hurt others. Many people ask me what I do for reciting the Buddha. Is it to pray for peace or escape suffering? Just smile and answer. The Buddha is not listening to the Buddha. It's about hearing my own mind. Every thought is a grain of water. Irrigate the arid heartland. It's a small light that lights up in the dark. Word of mouth explains every day. Words are not just cruel words. It's also unintentional words, the sentences of reproach. BRG about envy. The Buddha taught that the mouth is the root of karma. Use your mouth to recite the Buddha's name. It will become the mouth of the gods. And I tested Ra. When we recite the Buddha with all our heart, then every word that comes forth will be like every stream of pure water, wash away the dirt that clings on thoughts, actions, words. A Buddha mantra is a retreat from stress. It's a step closer to pure mind. It is a small thing, but the heart is saved. I know a young man who's been addicted to violence. Once in prison, he was visited by an old monk and taught how to recite the Buddha. I laughed at first, but then on lonely nights I start thinking, Nam Tishu Ad the Buddha? Amitabha Buddha will not know when. My heart is still. I was less angry, and the day I got out of jail, the first thing you do is go to the temple. Please a string of beads to get the next life. You said Buddha doesn't need me to recite for him. I need to remember to save myself. Each verse is a prayer to keep peace of mind and good life in this anxious life. Sometimes we don't need to be picky. Just take a few minutes every day to sit still. Hold hands and remember. The Buddha said not in a hurry. Not too fast, not too much. As long as the mind is calm, the breath is conditioned. That prayer was a purification of old karma. Healthy industry square. A Buddhist verse like the first rain. Cool mind, soothing, clean heart. Take people from the sea of suffering to the shore. I'm not a perfect person. You don't have to be a saint. We just need to be mindful of the Buddha a little bit every day. Was to walk step by step on the path of liberation. From today, if you can use your mouth to sow something for life, please spread the prayer, because every prayer is a lotus opening in the mind. Is once the old karma is washed away, it's a step closer. With my own peace of mind, God dosanti, let God remember me, that we don't forget ourselves. Mindfulness is not an act but a way of life. A path, a light in the midst of darkness. The word is the root of the mind. Transform a whole life. When the evening wind blows through the trees, the leaves touch each other. One noise. But it leaves a sense of peace, very deep in the human heart. The same. A person who knows how to speak often doesn't speak much. Don't speak up when you don't need to, but their hearts radiate an ineffable peace. Someone asked me, what is the language? Is it just not bad words? I replied that the word cultivation is a step into the door of spiritual practice, because the mouth can only say something. When I thought that in my heart, from a man of many mouths, to the one who dwells in wisdom. I met a middle-aged man. People who have suffered a lot. I told you I didn't believe in religion. I live quickly and speak candidly. Who does what wrong, I swear. I thought that was so strong. But then I lost my friends, lost my chance. You lose the trust of your family just because of your mouth. Once in a rage, you made my mother cry. That night I sat alone remembering every sentence I said. I wish I could take it all back from that day. I started learning to keep my mouth shut. Not just keep your mouth shut, but keep your heart shut. Every time I try to say something to win, I recited the Buddha and was silent. I don't need to argue anymore, because my heart doesn't want to hurt anymore. Why do you talk to people for a lifetime? The mouth is the first door that opens. The mouth says, Ra is the mind moved. Bad words are a sign of a restless mind. Someone who knows how to keep his mouth shut. Subdue himself. That he can subdue himself. You can move your whole life. The Buddha taught oral karma as one of the 3 great karmas. People can't ignore words, because words are the cause of many afflictions. Words don't just silence. Just saying the right words doesn't mean saying nothing. It's choosing to say something compassionate. Speak at the right time and with the right heart. Build words without breaking words. To make up words, not to kick. Say good words, not bad words. In a lecture, one once said, "For want to know if a practitioner is deep or not. Don't you look at the clothes they wear, listen to what they say, because words are the echoes of the mind." There's a grandmother in the countryside, illiterate, not chanting much, but the mouth is always reciting Buddha to give gentle advice. Never made anyone sad? A very old village person asked. You don't learn much about Buddhism. Laughing, you don't know anything. She was afraid she would say a word that would make someone sad. You feel guilty. So she kept her mouth shut and kept her peace. Practice your words and practice your mind step by step. Transfer the blessings of life. If you keep your mouth shut, the mind will not be easily disturbed. If the mind is not disturbed, the action will be careful. If you act carefully, life will be peaceful. Life is about karma. The root is the root, because from there all the most profound transformations begin. A good word is a great blessing. A bad word is a self-indulgence of merit. As we go through life, people sometimes say wrong, but the most precious thing is, I know to go back. Choose to keep your mouth shut. You know how to practice words and practice your own life. It's not hard to just keep your mouth shut before you practice. It's not far. Just keep your word before you keep your heart. You don't have to leave your life. Just leave the unnecessary words. From today, if I am alive, I can speak. Say the words that bring light to you. Not sowing good seeds for your own career path. To cow. It's the first step, but it can transform a lifetime. And if we can do that, we don't just change the present. It's a future full of grace and peace. Dear friend, if you're sitting in a small room right now, in the soft light, or just resting your head by the window, please take a breath and hold your breath. Because maybe you've been on a journey with me for the past hour. Not with your feet, but with your mind. A journey from words, back to the grave. Word of mouth. Find mindfulness in every sound you utter. From a sentence, getting started for career. It's also a path to practice. We often think we have to go to the temple, vegetarian Buddhist festival. It really starts with the breath itself. It starts with the words every day. A bad word can break a family. A poisonous word, it can cause people to carry a lifelong wound. But also a soft word. A sentence of sorry, a blessing. It can save a man from despair. Buddha taught words like arrows. If you're not careful, let go. You can kill without a knife. But the opposite. A word of love is cool water that irrigates the human heart. I also water my heart. I've heard a very lifelong story about a grandmother in a poor village. Every day she quietly lit the incense of Buddha and never speak out against AI. Someone asked her why she was so quiet. She laughed softly. If you have anything to say, don't say it. Say what you need to say. Not heavier. A poor old woman who didn't go to high school and didn't preach, but her words are living Dharma. But her silence is a kind of wisdom, a word that can save lives. It can also kill people. Until the word cultivation is the root of spiritual practice, transform a whole life. We've been through the dark corners, very real of life. There are times you can see yourself in these stories. Let go when you are angry. Poisonous words are more than lost, or complaining to the heart of his own relatives. But sometimes you find that you've started. Know how to stop. Be silent when needed. He knows how to speak and, above all, how to listen to himself. If life is the sea, words are the waves. Every time my mouth breaks, other people's hearts are broken. But when my mouth is still, the ocean in us is still. From today, if possible, please hold your mouth like an unhatched lotus bud. Only open when you really need to. It only blooms when the heart is pure. A day of silence is a day of blessing. A life of silence is a life of peace. I wish you from here to say the words worth saying. Know when to be quiet, sowing kindness every day, and know how to live a lighter life, softer, deeper. Amitabha Buddha, one last word. It's the beginning of a peaceful path. If you find peace after listening, let's leave a sentence. I will keep my word to bless you. It's like a curse on yourself and others. See you later, in the next gentle talk, where the mind is calm and life unfolds like a flower in the morning sun.